Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another podcast. We'll just get this one started right off. Here on the Radiant, we have Ishome on Spearbreaker. Good old Russian words. Seamoke on Crystal Maiden. I'm not even going to try. We'll call him B-Guy on Axe. Han on Invoker. And Raider on the Chaos Knight. On the side of the Dire, we have Silence Man on Void, Demi on Shadow Fiend, Hateful on Pudge, Nell on Brood, and QQ on Alk. We quickly take a look at who got the runes. Crystal Maiden got one rune, and Shadow Fiend got the other rune. That's going to be pretty good for his mid matchup. Invoker is not too hard to lane against at the early levels, but Shadow Fiend really needs to get those Necromastery last hits, which it appears he isn't doing so great. That was his first last hit. And there's another one, so maybe he just started off slow. Up top, it looks like we have a solo Spearbreaker versus a solo Void. This is going to be good for the Void in terms of levels, but he's going to have to be careful because Spearbreaker could take advantage of this. Down on bot lane, obvious tri-lane, the Axe, Crystal Maiden, and Chaos Knight versus the Brood, Alka, and Pudge. I'm not too excited about this tri-lane. Alchemist really needs as much farm as he can get, and well, with 3 other heroes in the lane, it's not going to be so great. And as we can see, Crystal Maiden herself did more damage to broodmother than these 2 heroes could do to her. So they're going to have to be careful spell-wise. Just like that. This could be first blood if Brood doesn't juke around these trees. She has to get back into the web and stay off to the far side, and it looks like she's going to make it. Yeah, just barely. Oh, no, but a new ward. Scouting her out. She able to make it? Juking back through the trees, and she hides in the web. Luckily, just barely out of range of those sentries. It looks like she might be able to cut up through there, but I mean, you can see the ward vision. Back on top lane, and it looks like Void has kind of been phased out of lane. Also, just from what was on the courier, it looks like he is building for a Hand of Midas, which I don't personally like on Void. It's okay, I guess, but I would rather just rush Mask of Madness and then basically be guaranteed a kill every time you Chronosphere, as opposed to getting that Midas to up your gold per minute. If you can be effective with the Mask of Madness and get a kill every time you chrono, up to like minute 15, I think should be about where you can't do that anymore, then I'd say it's worth it. But if you're going to buy Mask of Madness and then just go farm jungle, it's definitely far better to get the Hand of Midas. Back in mid lane, let's take a look at last hits and denies. We have Spearbreaker sitting on top, Shadow Fiend right behind. Good, he's got 17 points in that Necromastery. Invoker also just throwing out the Meteor to push the lane. Not too great. There's a huge mana loss, but I mean, I guess it's not like he's going to do anything else with that mana right now. Back on bot lane, Brood is still been forced out. Our Crystal Maiden is stacking and pulling, so it looks like Alchemist back to base for some reason, possibly headed top lane. That'd be far better. I mean, granted, Void still has to get this farm up here as well, but at least with an Alchemist here, there'd be a little bit more pressure on the Spearbreaker, and then I guess it would be slower, but they could split the last hits and have a safer farming environment. We see Tranquil's picked up on Axe down bot, and it looks like there could be a kill here, and there goes the kill. Axe called, spun his little heart out, and Chaos Bolt was thrown to finish off that Brood. Pudge hooks, but it's a bit too late after that Alchemist stun. That is the one huge problem with this. They have no damage here. They have Alk stun and Pudge's hook. Other than that, if they right-click, they just ask for death. I mean, we saw what just happened to Brood there. Alk's going to spin till he wins, and Crystal Maiden, being the good sport that she is just buying up these sentry wards. It's not looking too hot for Dire down here on the spot lane. They really need to just give up. Send Brood somewhere else, and here comes another kill. Wow, that was a lot of damage coming out. Level 2 Frostbite from that Crystal Maiden, and level 2 Counter Helix. Not much they could have done there. They really need to rotate one of these heroes away. Probably just leave Pudge and Broodmother there, since those two are going to do the least for them late game. I mean, Pudge is an early game hero and wasted most of it farming away a useless level 4 in this lane. Meanwhile, with our Void and Spiritbreaker matchup, Void is about halfway to that Midas recipe. Needs to keep on farming and get it fast. The Spiritbreaker, thought he was going for treads, but that is a gauntlet, not hand. So I'm not sure what he's headed for. Could still be power treads, just with a casual gauntlet. Mid matchup, we have a double damage Invoker. Not going to do much, but he does hit Shadow Fiend with that Meteor for a bit of damage. Shadow Fiend is doing a lot more damage. And, oh, if the Sunstrike connects, just barely misses. That could have been a disaster. Spiritbreaker still come charging in, though. And do they want to dive this? Yes, they do. An easy kill under the tier 1 tower, but they're going to have to sacrifice their courier for that, unfortunately. How unlucky. Invoker was able to get boots, maybe blades? Not quite sure what he picked up there. Down on bot lane, it looks like they dove too far. Pudge is able to clean up after they get a kill on this Alchemist. It's going to be exactly what they need. Some sort of return kills, which is good. Unfortunately, Alchemist wasn't there to get the experience or gold, but I mean, at least it's something. Pudge almost has Urn, which really isn't a smart build if he's in this lane. I mean, what kills is he going to get down here? Well, as I say that, they just got a double kill. But still, it's not looking like a kill-heavy lane, and he hasn't been ganking, so speaking of ganks, Chaos Knight looking for one middle. Invoker also sitting here, still on pretty low health. Not sure if he really wants to be here. Shadow Fiend braving the Spiritbreaker illusions. Both runes have already been taken, so he's going to be out of luck if he hits bot lane. For now, this is a 2v1 down here. Alka and Pudge versus Crystal Maiden. Looks like, well, we have Chaos Knight there, and Spiritbreaker sitting Fountain. Brood and Void take on this Axe Top. That's exactly what they needed to do, but a long time ago. They could have made this work against a solo Spiritbreaker, but with this Axe here, they have the same dilemma. They can't just go charging in, or else he's just going to call, Brood's going to get brought out of invisibility, and it's just not going to be a good time. And could this be a kill if he calls? And yep, he does catch her. They have to do a lot of damage. And oh, there's the level 6 Culling Blade. And there was a Brood there, but not anymore. As Void now has his level 6 and needs about 300 more gold to go until Hand of Midas. But it's not looking too good at this point, considering Axe already has that Blink Dagger. 7 minutes and 50 seconds. Oh, this is not looking good at all. This could easily be a kill here. Spiritbreaker has his ult. Bam, and Axe has his ult. And they're not even going to need it. 7-4 on the kills. It's not looking so great for Dire at the moment. But Pudge has an invisibility rune, so let's see what they can make out of this. This Solo Crystal Maiden, she is squishy. And while she does have plenty of things to do, like Frostbite, she won't be able to escape. Well, unless Pudge misses his hook. That's always an option. And Pudge keeps diving. Not sure this is the smartest thing to do. Crystal Maiden is able to juke them, though. Pudge died. He's taking quite a lot of damage. And Pudge manages to deny himself. Oh, great. They did get the Crystal Maiden, though. Not quite sure that was worth it, but here comes Chaos Knight in. There's a 3-second stun, and he's just going to right-click, but I don't think he can actually do anything. Out pops his ult, and looks to trade a few hits. Yep, he's going to be out just fine. Spiritbreaker's charging, so he's got to be careful when he's running. He's got to either go all the way back to base or... Well, it looks like Spiritbreaker stopped his charge, so he'll be okay. There's Void sitting mid. He's going to have to be careful of these 3 heroes rotating 2 heroes rotating through. Pudge, if he can get a hook here, this could be a much-needed kill. on any one of them. Void rotating back top. Axe sitting here waiting for someone, it appears. This could be Void's bad day. And blink call? Or is he just gonna right click? Nope, just blinks to the creeps. Shadow Fiend, we have the Shadow Amulet, which means he is going Shadow Blade. That's an okay build. Well, it's pretty good. It helps you get your ult off secretly, so and it's a good escape mechanism, but it's not going to be that great for much else, especially considering we have a Spirit Breaker who, I mean, charge puts his... Oh, and the dodge chrono, what a waste. It's 130 seconds. That is just not good at all. He had to time walk straight onto Axe because... Let's see if they can kill Axe here. I don't think they can. Oh, no, they can. But Spirit Breaker is charging. It does not look like he's heading up. These guys had better group up, and they don't even suspect a thing. Here comes Spirit Breaker. Easy ult. Few right clicks, and Pudge is dead. Anyway, I was saying, I believe time walk does just the slightest bit of damage. No. I thought it did like 10 or 20-ish damage just to stop blanks, but I guess I was wrong. We have Alk farming a bot. He's not looking so great on the last hits board. When you have a Crystal Maiden ahead of you, there's something wrong. It's not looking so great for you. And it looks like this could be a kill here. 4-second stun on Alk. Axe calls. He's gonna have to spin. And oh, tries to dunk in a last ditch ever, but he just can't do it. And Alchemist runs straight into the Sunstrike. How sad, just when he thought he'd made it out. And here's, yep, Shadow Blade. Need the help there. Here comes Invoker as well. They could turn on Invoker pretty easily. And there's Axe, who just demolishes Brood. All those spin charges. Well, would you look at that? They have another sentry up in their jungle, so it's going to be a lot harder for Brood to get anything done at all. And there's a blink call onto... Oh boy, but he goes invisible just at the right time. Blink call onto Shadow Fiend. Alk throws the stun right on Spirit Breaker. That's not Spirit Breaker, that's Invoker. What am I talking about? Comes out of Invis, starts right-clicking, and just barely gets him, but Axe Blink calls too. And their down goes Spirit Breaker. Alk could be next to fall with it, but they have no way to lock him down. Chaos Knight's out of mana, and Spirit Breaker used all his stuff. They can blink call him one last time if they think they have the damage, but that's really all they can do. Pudge walks in, just casually ults. Is this really the right play here? He's gonna die. He can't fight this. What was he thinking? And Alk could go down too. Spirit Breaker had his charge back up. Oh man, that was not good. Not good for them. Chaos Knight managing to escape on 20 health. One more tower hit would have finished him off, especially since he was standing in the negative armor acid spray. Brood continuing to work the jungle. If Brood does this, she had better go for a battle build because she is not getting any push on whatsoever right now, and that is the entire point of a Brood. But it does appear that we finally have that Hannah minus up on Void. It probably looks like he's had that for quite some time. Gets his boots. Probably going to be headed up for power treads next. Really like to see him get a kill. That'd be nice and satisfying after the Chronosphere whiff top lane. Shadow Fiend casually pushing mid. Oh, just kidding, not casual any longer. Axe spinning to win. Dunks, but not even close to low enough health. He's going to make it out just fine. Crystal Maiden ults where she thinks he went, and oh, she managed to catch him anyway! What an ult. What a guess. It wasn't right at all, but oh man, did Shadow Fiend mess up. Meanwhile, back in the jungle, they're going on Axe. They're committed 3 heroes to this. Alk dies instantly. Sorry, that was Pudge. Pudge dies instantly. Alk, followed by Reality Rifted by Chaos Knight, and then just right-click down. Where did Brood go? Brood hidden in the trees. Snooky Spooter. She really messed up that charge. She didn't manage to get the spiders at all, and this is gonna just Make Brood's already bad game even worse. Axe got his gem. He's definitely not going to be doing anything for a while. Brood casually farming up. No one suspects she's here yet. Axe now has the gem. And here could be a kill. Nope. Meanwhile, the rest of Dire team is pushing bot lane. On Crystal Maiden, it looks like Shadow Amulet, so we're probably going to be seeing a Glimmer Cake, which is really good. Although, I honestly think she could skip it this game. I mean, considering how far ahead they are, 20 and 8 at 15 minutes. If I were her, I'd just go straight for Blink Dagger, and then forget the Glimmer Cape, because, I mean, even if they cancel your ult, it's kind of like an afterthought at this point in the game. You guys are so far ahead, and have just gotten so many kills and racked up the gold that her ult isn't going to be teamfight changing. It's not going to be like the deciding factor of this game is going to be a fantastic or bad ult. It's going to be, can this Dire team actually pull off the win? They have a lot of ground to make up, and Brood gets a 15-minute Hand of Midas. That's not fantastic. I definitely would not go for Hand of Midas on Brood. Just not that good. Oh, and she doesn't know Axe is a gem. Here it goes. This could be the death. Nope, she manages to make it to low ground safety. Just barely. We assume that she saw Axe had a gem, considering where he went. How funny is that? Look at that. I have friends inviting me to play Dota. Axe jumps down, calls. He just can't manage to hit his call. It's not like it matters, because he got the kill anyway, but still. He just can't hit that Culling Blade. Meanwhile, on top, completely missed this fight. See, this is what I'm talking about. Crystal Maiden ults, and they either focus her down and run, or they just let it go. And you win anyway. You trade 3 for 2. That's pretty good considering they had Alchemist. Looks like got nothing done, and Void had to blow his ult. Speaking of Alchemist, he is farming atrociously. They need to give him jungle or something and allow him to catch up, because, I mean, just look at the items he has now. Perseverance, Quelling Blade, he's obviously going for Battle Fury, but what's he going to do with it? Farm more? He's certainly not going to team fight with it. He needs survivability. He needs Silver Edge, Shadow Blade, maybe a Heart if he's feeling frisky. There goes Hook, but Spearbreaker just charges straight into Pudge, and he's out fine. Meanwhile, Axe jumps, finally managed to hit a Culling Blade. Stunned up and bashed, right click down, and it's not looking good. Axe goes in, calls again. You're gonna have to hope for some time walks, and it's not so. Casually trade 4 for 1? Oh, Brood picks her off bot. So 4 for none. Brood making a pick-off kill on the Invoker, which is kind of sad, considering Brood has no silence and had to dive that tower. Yes, Pudge. Talk trash in another language. See how your team likes it. Not looking too great for Dire here. Top 3 net worth heroes are all Radiant. The hero who not arguably, who needs the most farm in this game is sitting last on the net worth board. It's just not looking good at all. Not looking good. Void, well, they're all pushing mid, not just Void. But Void also needs to get some stuff. I mean, he's level 10, so he's been leveling okay, but that's just because he's gotten solo farm. Because he's solo lane for the first bit of the game. But now, he needs items. He needs damage. He can't do anything with the damage he's got. There's Alk stacking. Did he stack correctly? Possible he could have, but Void said, no sir, not today. Pudge, is everyone just farming this jungle? Nope, looks like Alk's got it. Not sure what Pudge was doing. Up top we have Spiritbreaker chasing / charging Shadow Fiend. That is Axe, not Spirit Breaker. But there goes Spirit Breaker. Void Chronos manages to get absolutely nothing done. They are able to stop that Pudge, or not the Pudge, the Spirit Breaker ult for now, but he'll just wait until Dismember's over and then use it again. Alk almost denied himself, I think. Just happened to with that unstable concoction. Brood attempting to push bot, but I mean at 20 minutes and no tier 1s down, well, one tier 1 down, it's not looking good for you as a Brood. If you haven't pushed the tier 2 and put pressure on the tier 3 in your lane as Brood, you have either one, been countered very hard, or just plain messed up. Like, you'd have not played a good Brood game at that point. And this Brood, granted, while she was countered, also spent 15 minutes sitting jungle and doing nothing, where she should have rotated lanes. And Axe with invisibility is going to be able to easily just come up and get a kill on this Brood. Calls, that's so many things hitting. And spinning to win. Unfortunately, oh, nope, he manages to get the call off right there at the end. Spirit Breaker still charging on down. Just to be with his buddy, I guess. Comes a team fight mid, Invoker throws some spells, Tornado, out pops his ult, and not much else is going to happen here. Shadow Fiend continues to walk up, channels his ult, and blows it, but what good is that going to do? But Pudge just barely misses that hook. You're going to have to throw that concoction somewhere else. Nope, he manages to get vision. Crystal Maiden ults, they have no way to stop this. This is going to be a disaster. 3 heroes are caught right in that ult. Pudge just barely on the edge, keeps running through, hooks her, but it's far too late for that. That was a fantastic ult by Crystal Maiden, and she built Shadow Blade. Well, whatever. I mean, I guess you can do what you want when you're this far ahead in a game. Void just looking for farm anywhere, but not seeming to find it very well. Chaos Knight pushing bot lane. Got a pretty standard build. Good Yasha, probably building into Manta style, just for all those extra illusions. Crystal Maiden, low on health, getting back to base. And, oh boy, they're diving straight under tier 3s. They don't even care, and Brood falls again. This is kind of when you know the game's pretty close to over. I don't see much of a comeback being made here. Not looking good. This Alk has not gotten a new item in the last 10, 11, 12-ish minutes. Which is really not good for him. They still... Alk stuns himself up with unstable concoction. This could be a huge mistake, and they do punish it. There we go. There's the damage being thrown out. Invoker throws down that spicy meatball, but didn't even need it. Zax is able to culling blade him straight to death. Chaos Knight's coming up through as well with his ulti illusions. Looks like they want to push this tower, which is something they could probably have done with just the 3 of them. Invoker, does he have? Yes, probably just invoke Forge Spirits to help out a wee bit. Brood waltzing around all invisible until she walks into the sight range of Axe at least. And Crystal Maiden headed back to rejoin her team. They did see Brood though, and here comes a kill. I mean, they just can't stop it. What's she gonna do? Net? Web? It's far too late by then. Brood goes down. Good ward placement here, but I don't like these wards. That one's good, and that one's good, but not together. How long ago was this one placed? Literally just recently. Same as that one. He's managing to get out of this with just barely any health. And Axe and Invoker just team up for that kill on Alk in the jungle. Anyway, as I was saying, these wards, they're okay, I mean, but if we look at them, look at the vision they give, it's like the same thing. Nope, not the fight recap. It's like, nope, 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 go away. It's like the same thing. They both give this lane vision and a little bit into the trees here. This one gives this lane vision and a little bit into the trees here. The only reason I would place this ward down is, well, okay, there are 3 reasons. 1, if I'm doing Roche. 2, if I'm against a bounty hunter or something and need to watch for courier snipes, or just any ganking here I want to watch out in my side lane here. Or two, or three, if I am a bounty hunter and I want to look for courier snipes or make sure there's no one sitting over here waiting to gank on the Radiant side, of course, if I'm the Radiant bounty hunter. Then if I'm a dire person afraid of the bounty hunter, I might put one up here. Granted, there are definitely better spots for that ward if I'm looking out for a ganking hero or something like that, but I mean, it's just one place to put it to watch out for the gank. And Radiant easily marched through Dire's tower. Score of 41 to 12. It's not looking so great here. I mean, only one tier 1 tower has fallen. Pudge manages to get a good hook in on Chaos Knife, but I mean, he just melts. And Crystal Maiden's ult just barely getting the edge of these guys up here. Broodmother trying so hard to run for max, but manages to get away, but it's not like it matters. Shadow Fiend also buying back. What is he really going to do? I mean, honestly, no one's attained an item, well, except for Brood, who managed to pick up this Mithril Hammer. No one on Dire has attained an item in the past, I don't know, 7 minutes. It's not been good. Chaos Knight sitting really low. They could probably kill him if they wanted to. Speaking of which, he has enough for his ultimate orb for Mantis Style, and Axe almost has a heart. Not great. Void. Nope, he did not chrono for that. But Void applying pressure on that Invoker. He could easily go back in and most likely get a kill if he wants to. And there's Radiant just diving into Dire's base again. There's the double kill. And Axe just... They're so tanky, they don't care. They can do whatever they please whenever they want to. It's just not looking good here for Dire. They got outlaned and they weren't able to pick up the momentum after it. Everything has just been in Radiant's favor this entire game. And if we look at net worth, everyone on Radiant is above Dire. Which, I mean, is to be expected, but it's just a struggle. Pudge looking for a hook, maybe? Sad. Messes up the Sunstrike just barely. That could have easily been a kill. I think they want Spirit Breaker to charge this, and here he comes. There's a meatball. Will Void walk into it? Nope. Invoker going so fast. Max move speed. And bam! Spirit Breaker smacks right into his face. They managed to push down mid-racks as well as take Brood and Shadow Fiend. Well, probably just Brood, actually. But does it really matter at this point? The kills are just stacking up against them. Radiant are pushing down the bot tier 3s. Dire doesn't... I mean, it looks like they want to defend, but honestly, can they? Shadow Fiend throws out some spells, and oh man, is he lucky that Chaos Knight stunned the creep instead of him. Oh, manages to hook Invoker. I am not sure if that was purposeful. Crystal Maiden blinks in Shadow Blades, and here comes the ult. She channeled it for quite a lot of damage. Auk just farming up while his allies die. Tower falling very quickly. There's not much they can do about this. There certainly was a bot Rex here, but for how long? I mean, when you can just do that, quickly dive in and kill the Axe. And man, this is also not looking good. Void is going to get right-clicked down by Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden out right-clicked Void there. That is when you know the game is over. There's Brood, but Bash Lord Bara. Not going to let that one happen. And hey, well, would you look at that? The creeps took top tower. Look at the positives. Radiant pushes straight into Dire's base. They don't care anymore. They know that this game's won. This game was secured a long time ago. Are they going to go for Megas or are they just going to finish? Let's see. They could finish. And it looks like they're just going to finish. Way to go. Way to be good sports about it. And Pudge misses that hook on Crystal Maiden that could have secured her death quite easily. Invoker throwing out spells for the fun of it. And what else are you going to do at this point in the game? Yes, you hook that Spirit Breaker. See how well it works out for you. Down goes their ancient. Not much they can do about it. Axe even going so far as to blink straight into there. Spirit Breaker charges, all the ults are thrown, and they are even melting in their base. I mean, how can you expect to win when you die inside your own base? It's just not looking good for you. And they actually managed to stave off the attack for a tiny little bit. Fudge coming through, stealing right-click damage, axe calls, Pudge taking a huge amount of damage, and where's the dunk? Not even gonna bother to dunk. Denied himself, where's the dunk onto? Nope, not even bothering to dunk as well. Oh, well, it's on cooldown. That explains a lot. Boyd, I thought he was gonna whiff his chrono there again. 3, 2, 1, and stuns himself. How sad. That's a lot of damage being thrown out. Void and Alchemist trying to defend this, but I mean, what's the point? This does not look like a game they can come back from with a score of 57-15. Their most recent tower being pushed by creeps. Not looking so hot. Let's see, has this Alch managed to get anything new? Yes, he managed to complete power treads. You go, bud. Radiant regrouping mid lane, they'll probably just push straight up top. Evoker activated a double damage, although I'm not sure why. It's not like he's getting anything done. They could honestly leave creeps to this. I mean, there's Brood with 6 mangoes. Good choice, good choice. I know when I play Brood, you gotta stack those mangoes. And here they go for the kill. Straight onto Alch, who manages to stun him for a moment, but is just right-clicked into oblivion. Chaos Knight pops his ult, and down goes the Ancient. They once again dive into Fountain for the fun of it, but it's not going to last long since the Ancient falls. Pretty dominant showing by Radiant, I mean, sorry. I think Dire might have been able to win if they had switched up their lanes after they recognized that this isn't going well bot. We're not getting anything done. They're doing insane amounts of damage. We'll leave Brood down here, Brood and Pudge, just because, I mean, Pudge wasn't going to gank, so what's the point of having Pudge? I mean, like, seriously. And then put Alchemist top lane, and then just hope for the best. And that's all they could do. They needed to contest that Spirit Breaker even just a little bit. I mean, that's the problem with going a full core lineup. You don't have anyone to contest. You don't have anyone who's like, yeah, I'll take a little bit of damage to throw some spells down. I'll take a little bit of damage to get a few harassing the right clicks in. There's no one that's willing to do that because everybody needs the farm. It just wasn't a good game at all. I mean, when you're going 8-0 on Void, that's not so great. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.